you can. So we're going to just relax here for just a moment. Arms stretched long.
And get it long, bigger a little bit.
Again, forehead relaxed. So nothing too active with this child's pose. In a minute, we're going to connect with the breath. Just feel what your body says this morning. Probably haven't been out of the bed too long. Let's start bringing the inhale a little bit deeper. So inhaling through the nose. Just a little bit, expand the body, especially the backside body. Feel how it opens with the breath. And then exhale, gently release. Do it again, inhaling through the nose. And then exhaling, release. Once more, slowly inhaling through the nose. Hold it to your maximum. And exhale, release. Now slide your palms towards you. Gently press into the mat. Lift up to the knees a little bit. We're just going to adjust your child's pose so that you can create more space and length in your back and opening through your hips. So just tilt your hips up towards the ceiling. It's an interior tilt. So just tilting the hips up and gently lengthen the hips back, trying to remove any rounding through the upper body and walk your hands forward. Keep your chest stretched forward, maybe even coming to your fingertips. Hips back to heels, lengthen through your arms and find that you have a longer spine. Upper body stretches forward as the heels go back. And then just rest the forehead on the floor. We're going to connect a lot deeper here with that breath. So inhaling slowly through the nose, press the belly out. Press the air, the breath, down into the hips, into the low back, and exhale, release. As you let go, the hips go closer to the heels, and maybe the arms walk more forward. Spine stretches long. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, release. Creating more space. Adjust as you need to, as you sink a little deeper into your child's pose. Last one, inhale. And exhale, completely let it go. Let's walk over to the right side of the mat. You can even walk off of the mat, your left fingertips pulling against the resistance of the mat, stretching your left side body. So maybe the left hip comes up. Let's take a deep breath. Inhale to the left side body. And as you exhale, let the hip come back towards the heels and the body melt. We're going to do it twice more. Inhaling through the nose. And exhale. Release completely, hip to heel. Inhale, last one. And release. We're going to walk the hands back to center. Stop here in the center. We're going to stretch again forward. Inhaling once. And exhale back to heels. And let's walk over to the left. Again, walking off the mat if you would like to. Right fingertips pulls against the mat or the floor. Walking yourself all the way over, creating the stretched right side body. Deep breath, inhale. And exhale, let the right hip come back to the heel. We'll do it twice more. Deep inhale. And exhale, release. Last one, inhale. And release. We'll walk back to center. And again, one breath here. And let it go. We'll walk the hands back in. Palms onto the mat. Bring the knees in and bring your hips up. Tabletop position here. Palms underneath the shoulders. Knees underneath your hips. So tabletop position, we'll just take a few cat-cows. Bringing your chin to your chest. Pulling your pubic bone towards the face. Round your spine up. Keep the shoulders away from your ears. And let's release, drop the belly, lift the chest, hips lift, chin rises. Again, chin to chest, round the spine, up towards the ceiling, belly button in, pubic bone towards the face, and shoulders relax. Drop the belly, lift the chest, hips go high, and look to the ceiling. Let's do it twice more, chin to chest, rounding through. Really pull the belly button in so you feel the back up to the ceiling, and drop belly, lift chest, hips go high, and gaze up. Bring it back to center. We're going to go into our first down dog. So we're going to go slowly, and we'll do some deep stretching along the way. So just gently round your toes, pull it, push into the floor, and lift your hips high. So first down dog this morning. Just stretch the hips up and back. Press palms into the floor and the floor away from you. Stretch the hips back. And then you can paddle a little bit the feet, bending one knee and then the other. If you're able to turn your screen on, I can't see everybody. I don't know some names on there. If you're comfortable with doing that, if not, that's okay. You can have your privacy this morning. Hips go back. Do any kind of organic movement that you need to that feels good to you here. And then we'll come back to stillness in the center. Try to press the floor away from you, stretching out of your shoulder blades so you're not dumping into the shoulders or the wrist. We're going to come high on the toes. We're going to roll through, bringing the hips down, sort of into an upward dog. We're going to keep high on the toes. So shift shoulders over wrist, hips go down, and chest lifts up. Chin to chest, we're rounding back through. Pull your belly in, hips high. See if the heels come closer to the floor. Top of the toes, rounding all the way forward over your wrist. Let the hips drop, and chest goes high. Chin up. Again, chin to chest, rounding all the way through. And bring the heels to the floor for your down dog. Twice more. High on the toes, round all the way forward. Try to really round through this. Hips down, chest up. Chin to chest, round through the spine, and all the way back through. We have one more. High on the toes, shoulders over wrist, belly in, hips down, and chest up. Let's just stay here for a moment. Chest up. We're going to look over the left shoulder. Right shoulder goes forward, looking over left. Try to stay high on the toes. You can come to knees if you need to. Come back to center. Look over to the right. Left shoulder comes forward. Look over right shoulder. And bring it back forward. Rounding back through. Up to your down dog. Let's come back to knees. Right arm, stretch it up. Right leg stretches back. Pull the pubic bone forward and stretch the fingertips to the ceiling. From here, we're going to thread the right arm underneath the left and bring the shoulder down. So knee comes back down, thread the right arm underneath the left, shoulder to the floor. Stretch your left fingertips forward. Belly stays in. Stretching here, still through the spine and the hips. We're also stretching that right shoulder. Let's connect with the breath. Deep breath, inhale. And exhale, release. Deep breath, inhale. And exhale, release. We have one more. Inhale. And exhale, release. Slide the left hand back, press the palm into the floor. Right arm again stretches up. And release the right palm down. Left arm goes up, left leg goes back. So the back is toward you. Stretching fingertips up, lengthen to the ceiling, keep the belly in. From here, we're threading the left arm underneath the right and bringing the shoulder down. So left arm goes under, left knee back to the mat, and shoulder down. You can stretch your right fingertips forward, keep your belly in. Just stretching the shoulders here. We'll be doing a few down dogs. You want your shoulders to be nice and open. Let's take 3 deep breaths. Inhale and exhale. Inhale through the nose and exhale. Once more, inhale and release, exhale. We'll bring the right hand back, press into the floor, and come back to your down dog. We're going to go pushing up back to your tabletop. We're going back down to our down dog. Round the toes and hips go high. Pull the belly in, lengthen through your spine. We're going to gently come high on the toes. Bring the knees just down like a tabletop position, but hover over your mat. Pull the belly in. We're staying here for 3 breaths. Hold it, belly in. And hips go high. Back to your down dog. Press the hips up and back. We're going to do that again. Come up on the toes, knees down. Tabletop hover. And back up. Right leg goes back and up. So 3-point. Stretch through the toes, belly in. Really find the length all the way through the right toes, keeping light on the wrist. Keep the belly in. As we come forward, we're going to step the right foot to the outside of the right hand. High on the back toes, right foot steps all the way forward. Hold it here. We're going back to 3-point, up and back. Stretch the toes every time. High on the back toes, look forward, step out to the right. Hold it. And back to your 3-point. High on the back toes, step out to the right. Stay here. We're bringing that left knee down. Sink deep. So we're deep in the right hip. Stretch your left leg behind you. Really deep lizard here. Again, it's going to be different for everybody. Stretching that left leg back. Let's try not to roll out on the right toes. So try to keep the right foot flat. So here we're going to set up and find a little more space. So hands are down, and just a little bit we're going to go to elbows for a deeper stretch. Keep your chest lifted. Pull your pubic bone a little forward here and keep the chest up. See if you can't create some more space through the spine and sink a little deeper into your right hip. More length to the left front side body. Pull the pubic bone forward. Chest stays up. Now, if you have a block near you or any books that you might need, and maybe you don't need them at all, but if you do, you might want to grab one. We're going to try to come down first left elbow. That's going to be the side that's easier to get to the floor. You can stay there. Or now bring your right elbow down. Or you can just stay up on your hands. We're going to stay here a moment for this deep stretch. Connect with the breath. Really deep in that right hip. Inhale slowly, very deeply through your nose, pressing the belly out on your inhale. Be aware how the deep breath, inhaling, pressing belly out, opens and expands the right hip. As you exhale, see if you can melt a little bit more. Try not to roll over to the left. We want to stay center. Inhale through the nose. Press belly out. Take one more really deep breath. Press the belly out, expand through the right hip. And then release. We're going to bring palms back to the floor. We're going to go back to our 3-point. So round your back toes, press the mat away from you, and right leg stretches up and back. We're going right through to center. High on the back toes, knee to nose. Hold it here. Pull the belly in, cheetah. So we're holding it. And then let's step forward. So we're in a grounded lunge. Back toes high. Left leg nice and solid. From here, we're going to lift the arms up, crescent. Inhale, up. You can come to that back knee if you need to. Keep your pubic bone pulled forward and your chest up. Make sure your back leg is nice and strong. Sink deeper with the hips. To bring your left hand down on the inside, revolve side angle, right arm stretches up. Again, pubic bone a little bit forward, really high on the back toes. And now right hand down, frame the foot. We're bringing the left knee down and we're sinking forward. Good morning. So hips forward. Your hands can be palms to floor, on your fingertips, or to your block. Hold it here and connect with your breath. I'm going to stay focused on this right hip for a while. So now we're going to counter stretch this by bringing the right leg straight. So hips go back. Let's flex the right foot for split prep. So right here, you don't want the left hip to come back. You want to try to bring the left hip a little forward, using the resistance on the mat with your heel, right hip back. Feel the stretch through the back side of the right leg, flexing the right foot. Suck your stomach and stretch through the crown of the head, and then lengthen your chest towards your toes. Keep the left hip forward. Two breaths, deep inhale through the nose. Exhale, release, chest more to toes. Inhale. And exhale. Stretch to your max. Let's sink again forward into that front knee for your lunge. Round your back toes, come back up to your high lunge. From here, we're going to warrior two. Open the arms, warrior two. Come all the way up. So my back's towards you, your right knee forward. Hips push forward to your side wall. Sink deep into that knee, chest stays high. Right leg nice and solid, and sink low. We'll hold it here. Let's round all the way down. We're going to bring your right leg back, high plank. We'll go through our first vinyasa. To your knees if you need to. Otherwise, shoot forward, elbows in, and slowly lower down, chaturanga. We'll go to up dog. Chest up, chin up, and look back. Pubic bone down towards the mat as your chest rises high. And round over the toes. And let's come to our down dog. Stretch the hips back. Left leg now, stretch it up and back. Lengthen. Point the toes. Create space all the way from your palms through the left toes. And then we're stepping to the left side of the mat, then we'll come back to 3-point. Look forward, high on the toes, left leg out. And we go back to our 3-point. Look forward, step forward. And back to your 3-point. This time we're going to stay. High on the back toes, all the way forward, hold it here. So you're deep in your lizard. Left foot's over to the left here, outside of that left hand. Let's bring the right knee down. Hips forward, chest up. Let's get a little bit deeper, creating some space. Pubic bones pulls forward and chest up. Finding length all the way from the crown of your head through your tailbone. Pulling your hips forward, chest up. We're holding it. And we're going to come to our elbows. Right elbow first. If you need your block, grab it. If you can bring your left elbow down, trying not to roll too much over to your right hip, keeping both hips center. Again, pubic bone forward. And connect with your breath. As you're tight in your hips, as most people are, when you're in these deep stretches, when you start to sink a little deeper and you find sensation in that space, the body will sort of clench up. So you're deep into a space, a little bit uncomfortable, maybe deeper than you would ever go, just naturally. And the body's going to clench up. Take a deep breath and try to let that space open. Just a couple more breaths here. And sink a little deeper. Let's bring the palms to the floor. We're going back to our 3-point. So round your back toes. Left leg stretches up and back. And this time we're going all the way forward to our high lunge. Stay high on that back leg, toes high. And inhale, arms up, crescent. Pubic bone forward, chest up. We're going to bring the right hand down. Revolve side angle, left fingertips stretch up. Keep a nice long line, crown of the head through your heel. Make sure your right leg's nice and solid. You can come to the knee if you need to. Bring the left hand down, frame the foot. We're going to bring the right knee down and sink forward. So now left foot is just directly in front. Really deep stretch in the right front side body, hip flexor. Hips forward, chest up. And we're going to counter this with our split prep. Just straighten that front leg, flex the foot. With the heel on the mat, just drag the heel, left heel, back a little bit so the hips stay in one line. Chest stays up, belly in. Take a deep breath, inhale, and stretch your chest towards your toes. Another deep breath, inhale, and stretch chest to toes. From here, let's sneak back forward. From here, we're going to go to our warrior 2. So high on the back toes, and let's open. Warrior 2, right side. So left knee is in front. Sink deep and keep your chest up. So here we want our back foot at a 90-degree angle.
Sink deep. Pull the pubic bone, hips a little forward. Sink and chest stays lifted. Hold it. Sink deeper in that left hip. And now let's round all the way down. We're back to our chaturanga. Left leg back, coming to the knees if you need to. So in your high plank or to knees, shift forward, exhale slowly all the way down. Up dog and down dog. We're back to our right side. Right leg stretches up and back. So this time, we've been pointing through the toes here. This time I want you to flex the foot. Bend the knee, heel drops behind you. We're opening knee to the right. So drop your foot behind you and open that right hip. Keep breath in. We're going to look forward, step all the way forward. We're going back to our warrior two. Inhale, arms up. Sink deep into that front knee. We're going to straighten the front leg. Bring the left foot in a little bit. Turn forward, both arms up. Right foot's in front, belly in. We're going to clasp the hands behind us. Deep breath. Lengthen through the chest. Bend the front knee, and let's humble all the way down inside of that right leg. Arms can come over the head. Keep belly in, we're holding. Bring both hands down, frame the right foot. Left foot steps in just a little bit. Back foot is at a 45-degree angle. Left hip forward. Take a deep breath, stretch, and lengthen towards your right toes. Upper body on thigh. Stretch down with the chest. Really deep stretch in the low back. Right at the top of the hips there. So that's great sciatic nerve stretch. Stretch down. Keep the left hip a little forward. So listen carefully here. We're going to go into a twist, Kundalini twist. Bring your back foot up. The left knee goes right in, tucks right in. Behind your left knee tucks right in behind your right knee. Left hand comes onto the floor, a little in front of you, and we're going to open to the right. Bring both hands down. Let's step back into that lunge, high lunge. And inhale, crescent. Left hand comes inside. Let's revolve. Right fingertips stretch up. Bring both hands down, frame the foot. Right foot steps back. We'll go through a vinyasa. Chaturanga lowers you down. Inhale, up dog. And down dog. Stretch the hips up and back. Left leg stretches back. We've been pointing through the toes. So let's go ahead, flex that foot, stretch the heel back, and then bend the knee and open left. Opening over, left knee goes high, heel falls behind you. Really opening in the hips. We're going to look forward, step all the way forward, and we come to our warrior two. Opening right. Sink deep. Hips forward, chest stays up. We're going to bring your right foot in just a little bit. Face forward, straighten that front leg, and arms go up. Clasp the hands behind you, interlock the fingers, pull the knuckles towards the ground, chest up. Now bend in the front knee, and we humble all the way down. We're inside the left leg. We're coming back up. Bring the right foot in a little bit. Straighten the front leg. Right hip forward and chest stretches down to your toes. Lengthen through the chest bone all the way down, keeping your right hip forward. So again, from here, we're going to that Kundalini twist. So we just come off of the back foot. Right knee tucks in behind the left. Right hand to the floor, and we open left. Both hands down, we step back to our high lunge, and inhale, arms up, crescent. Right hand comes down, and let's open left. Fingertips stretch high. We go back through our vinyasa, left hand down, high plank. Go forward here on those back toes. Exhale, slowly lower down. Inhale, chest up, and meet in down dog. All right. I hope everybody's feeling nice. Right leg stretches up and back. We're going back over to the right side. So right foot steps outside of the right hand and hold it. So you're in your deep lizard. Stretch to the crown of your head. We're going back 3-point. We're going to the right again. Right foot all the way forward. And then back to your 3-point. And step forward. Bring your left knee down. See if you can get a little bit lower now in the hip. We're a lot more warmed up than we were when we did this at the very beginning. So we're warming up the right hip. We're going to eventually be going into pigeon. So just think a little deeper here. So before we go into our pigeon, try to bring your left elbow down, and we're going to roll to the left hip. But keep the right knee where it is. Take your right hand, place it onto the right knee. Push the knee away from you a little bit as you twist. Look over the shoulder and gaze up. Keep the belly in and the spine long. And let's come back to center, hands on the floor. Now we're going to go into our pigeon. So right foot is going to heel toe all the way over to the left. Important not to drop to your right hip. You want to keep your left hip forward. As you sink forward, you want to bring the left heel, right heel into the center line of the body as you need to. But try to keep from rolling over to your right hip. You want to stay centered with your hips forward. Heel can come in, the chest stays high. Keep your chest lifted. Use your hand strength here, or blocks beside of you, books beside of you if you need them. So if you have blocks or books, this is a great position to be. If your hip is really tight and not coming even near to the floor and you need to place a block underneath your hip, that's an option. Keep your chest lifted. We're going to go forward in just a minute. Try to bring your left hip more forward. You're going to feel that more deeply into the right hip. With your chest lifted and pubic bone forward, then you start stretching the upper body forward. Try not to just round forward, but just lengthen forward. Elbows can come to the floor first, keeping the left hip down and forward. And again, because we're really deep in the right hip, again, the right hip might start to contract as you start getting deeper. Take a deep breath and try to release, relax into that right hip. You want to come all the way down, forehead on a block, forehead on the floor. We're going to rest here for just a moment, and then we're going to connect with the breath. So I want you to be aware of how the breath really opens and expands. You actually might feel more of an uncomfortable sensation because the breath is allowing things to open. So let's take a deep breath. Inhale, press the belly out. Expanding the belly. Ooh, feel the right hip as you sink forward. I'm going to do it a couple more times. Deep breath, inhale. Press the belly out, breathe the air into the space, the right hip. And exhale, release. We're going to do it once more. Deep inhale, hold it to maximum inhale. Really press the air down into the belly. Into that right hip. Be aware of how that breath actually intensifies that stretch. And exhale, release. Let's walk the hands back up. Palms on the floor. So we'll come to 3-point. If you need to just roll over to your right hip, bringing your left hip forward, you can. If you can come to 3-point, let's round the toes and bring your right leg up and back. We're going through things here on the right hand side. Bend your knee and open your hip right. Keep the belly in. Heel falls behind you. We're going to look forward and step all the way forward, coming into our warrior 2. Sink deeper into that right hip. Chest stays up. Bring your left foot in a little bit. Straighten that front leg, face forward, interlock the fingers behind you. Pull the knuckles down, keeping your chest open. Bend the front knee now and humble forward. Inside of the right knee. Release your grip, hands to the floor. Bring your left foot in a little bit more. It's angled at a 45-degree angle. Chest up, spine straight, and stretch forward towards your toes. Really try to take notice and feel the stretch right through the right side in the low back, all the way stretching that sciatic nerve. And here we come to our Kundalini twist coming off of the back foot. We're going to tuck the left knee in behind the right, left hand down, and open right. Both hands down, we step back into our crescent. Inhale, arms up. Left hand comes down, revolve side angle, right fingertips stretch up. We're going to go through our vinyasa, right hand down, frames the foot, right foot steps back, high plank, exhale, chaturanga. Up dog. Down dog. Stretch all the way back. Now we're on our left hand side. Prepping for our pigeon, left leg stretches back, lengthen. We're stepping forward to the outside of your left hand and hold it. So we're high lizard here, belly in, sink into the hip. Back to your 3-point. Again, step left and sink. Once more, left leg back and up. And let's come all the way to the left. And this time, we're going to let the right hip come down. Right hand on the floor. You can come to the elbow. Left hand on the knee and twist, look up. Pressing that left knee away from you. Come back to center. Come up on your hands. We're going to heel toe the foot over to the right for our pigeon left side. So again, try not to roll over to the hip. We want to keep the hips forward, chest up. Straighten that right leg behind you. If you need to bring your left heel into the center line, do that. But keep that right hip forward, chest stays lifted. We're deep in the left hip, but we're also very deep in the right front side hip flexor. Keeping the right hip forward, pull the pubic bone forward as your chest stays up. Use your blocks as you need to. Either side is going to be different. And then you can start just stretching forward through your spine. Try not to round. And bring your elbows to the floor. If you want to lengthen all the way forward, forehead to the floor to a block. Try to let that left hip open. In just a moment, we're going to really connect deeply with the breath. So we'll begin to do that deep breath. Inhale, press the belly out. Ooh. Feel how the breath really opens that left hip. As you exhale, just try to release. Let the right hip maybe come a little bit more forward. Inhale, deep breath. Press the belly out. Left hip opens. And release. Deep breath, inhale. Hold at your max. And exhale, release. And bring your hands back to the floor, palms on the mat. Again, you can roll to your left side if you need to, otherwise we'll go into our 3-point. So we're going to round the back toes, lift up, left leg stretches back and up. So lengthen. Here we're going to open that hip. So bend your knee and open left. We'll go back through everything now. Left hand side. Let's really open this hip. We'll look forward, stepping all the way forward in between the hands and open warrior 2. So right hand side, left knees forward, sink deep. We're going to bring the right foot in, just a little. Face forward, both arms up, straighten that front leg. Clasp your hands behind you. Interlock the fingers, pull the knuckles down, chest up, bend the front knee, and we'll go humble forward, all the way down. Let's release the hands, bring the front foot, straighten the left leg, right foot comes in a little bit, With a straight spine, we're gonna lengthen forward and stretch all the way towards the toes. Chest stretches to the toes. Deep breath, inhale. And exhale, stretch down. From here, our Kundalini twist. Kick off the back toes. Right knee tucks in behind left. Right hand comes down, and we open left. From here, both hands down. We step back to our crescent. Inhale, arms up. Right hand comes inside the foot. Left arm stretches up. Revolve side angle. Both hands come down. Let's go through the vinyasa. Back to your high plank. Again, to the knees if you need to. Otherwise, slowly chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. And let's meet in down dog. Stretch hips up and back. Come to the knees. Open knees really wide. Maybe wider than before for a really wide leg child's pose. So hips go up as you sink back. Walk the hands forward. Even deeper into the hips now. So lots of hip opening. Hips go back, stretch the fingers long. And then walk your hands back. So I'm going to face you. We're going to come to a seated position. So what we're going to do is we're going to stack knees. So we've been deep into the hips and we're going to stay into the hips. So left leg. Bring it in front of you and make sure that it's parallel to, if you're at the edge of your mat here on the side, but you just want it in front of you. You're going to take your right foot, the ankle, and place it over top of your left knee. Your right knee over your left ankle. And if you're looking at me, I can't see what you guys, because you don't have your screens up, but if you look at me, you see that the right knee is sort of naturally up. Put your hands beside of you, lift up, and then you bring your right knee down and forward. Now that might not be where everybody is right now, so you play with what you have in your movement today. But if the right knee stays up, that's okay. If your feet need to come in a little bit more like cross-leg position, that's okay. Ideally, you want the ankles stacked and the knees stacked. And then lifting up, right knee comes down. So what we're going to do is bring the left hand behind our left hip. Press the floor away from you. Bring your right hand to the right knee and press down, chest dip, lifts. Keep your belly in and stretch up. You're really deep in that right hip. We're going to intensify this in just a little bit. And anytime you want to, again, you can unmute yourselves if you need to ask me any questions. Press the right knee down, chest stays up. Again, the more the knees are stacked, the more intense it's going to be. So you can stay here. If you need a little bit more stretch, you can bring both hands behind you, keep your chest lifted, and then stretch chest forward. And your right hip will really be talking to you at this point. Should be. Really deep stretch right into that right side of the hip. This is deep way into the piriformis muscle. So stretch forward. If you've ever had any bursitis in your hips, this is really good for that. Keep your chest lifted.
but stretch forward. And then let's take 3 deep breaths. Inhale through your nose, press the belly out. Deep breath, inhale. All the way down into the pelvic region. And exhale, release. Feel how the breath opens and expands. Inhale. And exhale, release. Wow. Deep breath, inhale. Feel that right hip. And exhale, release. Gently walk your hands back up. We're going to stay here for just a moment. We're going to go into a small spine twist. So you're just going to bring your right foot over top. Come to the floor, heel toe your left foot over toward the hip. So now you're in a spine twist position. Bring your right hand behind you. Stretch up. And you can just bring your left hand to the outside of the knee as you lengthen the chest and just pull the knee toward you as you look over your right shoulder. Just keep the spine nice and tall, belly in, and your right hip down. Try to keep lifting for the chest. And let's come back forward. We can bring the uncross your feet. Bring the knees into the chest just a little bit, forehead to the knees. And we're going to move to the other side. So now right shin's going to be forward. Try to bring it parallel to the edge of the mat. We're stacking the left. So left ankle over right knee over left ankle. Again, naturally the left knee is going to stay up. Put your hands onto the floor and you just adjust your hips. Left knee stays down. Go to where you can and adjust. Again, we want to get into the left hip. Right hand behind you, press into the floor and press your left knee down. Chest stays lifted. And you always have one side that is typically a little more open than the other. Keep the belly in. Connect with your breath. And let the left hip open as much as possible. And then when you're ready, your hands can both be behind your hips, chest up. And then you're just going to start leaning forward. And you may not move very far. You may just go an inch, maybe half an inch. Maybe a hair. But if you can go forward, just keep the chest lifted. Again, low belly in. All the way along the very lowest part of your back, all the way at the top of your hips. Let's connect with the breath. Deep breath, inhale, press the belly out. Exhale, release, stretch forward. Inhale through the nose, press the belly out. Feel the expansion in that left hip. And release. Deep breath, inhale, last one. Inhale slowly and hold at your maximum. And exhale, release. And then bring your hands back in. Walk slowly all the way up. We're going to go to our spine twist. So left foot comes over top onto the floor, heel toe the right foot.
the outside of your left hip. Left hand behind you. Stretch up your right arm. Your right hand could come onto the outside of the knee. Push the hips down, chest up, and look over your left shoulder as you pull your right knee into you. And then let's come back forward. We're going to roll back to our hands and knees. So if you need a little squeeze here, go ahead, rounding forehead to your knees, and then we'll come to our tabletop position. Back to our tabletop, round your toes, and come back to your down dog. Probably feels so much nicer than we did at the very beginning. We're going to go through everything once more. The right leg stretches up and back. Let's flex the foot, bend the knee, and open your hip. Take it nice and slow. Really try to get everything deeper into the hips. Come back forward, look forward, stepping. Inhale, open, warrior two. Feel how the hips feel now as you go through this. Sink low, pull the pubic bone forward, chest stays up. Let's bring the left foot in, arms over your head, face forward. Clasp the hands behind you, interlacing your fingers. Squeeze the palms, knuckles down, bend to the front knee and humble forward. Inside of that right leg. Release your grip, hands on either side of the foot. Left foot comes in a little bit, straighten that front leg, lengthen your spine, deep breath, stretch chest to toes. We're coming off the back foot, Kundalini twist, left knee tucks in behind the right, left hand down, open right. Both hands down, we step back to our crescent. Inhale, arms up. Come down to your revolved side angle, left hand down, right fingertips stretch up. Right hand down, we go through our vinyasa. High plank, come to knees if you need to. Exhale, chaturanga. Up dog. And down dog. Move to the left hand side, left leg stretches up and back. Flex the foot, open hip. Look forward, step all the way forward. Inhale, warrior two. Sink deep in your hip, pubic bone pulls forward. Sink lower, chest stays lifted. Bringing your right foot in, arms overhead. Straighten that front leg. Clasp the hands behind you, interlocking your fingers, pull the knuckles down. Bend into the front knee and humble forward. We're inside the left leg. Release your grip, hands to either side of your foot. Right foot comes in a little bit, straighten that front leg. Spine stretches, lengthen through your chest, and stretch chest to toes. From here, Kundalini twist, stepping off that back foot, Step the right knee in behind the left, right hand to the floor, and we open left. And here we're going back into our crescent. Step back, inhale, arms up. Right hand comes inside the foot, left fingertips stretch high. Back through your vinyasa, left hand comes down, left foot steps back, high plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Up dog and down dog. Excellent. And let's bring the knees down. This time, keep the knees together and just sink back. Upper body on thighs. So belly right on top of the legs. Press the belly into the thighs. Slide your hands to you. Lift yourself up. Let's roll over. Bring the legs out in front of us. And lie back on your mat. Bring your arms over your head. Stretch to the wall behind you. Toes stretch forward. Pull the belly in, chin to chest. And we're going to bring both knees up, around the knees into your chest. And let's just grab the outsides of the feet for happy baby. And this is the way we'll end our practice. The last thing that we do before we come out of the practice. If you feel like there's anything else that you need, you go for it. We did lots of opening in the hips. Your hips should feel really good as you go through your day. You can roll the low back onto the floor. Bring your feet into soles touching and knees spread wide. And then just let the feet come down and again stretch long. Bring your arms over your head and lengthen. Roll to your side, and we're going to bring ourselves up to a seated position. Just take your time. I will face you. So sitting up nice and tall. We're going to do 3 deep inhales, bringing the arms over our head sideways. Let's inhale, arms up. Stretch the fingertips up, belly in, lengthen. Exhale, release. Inhale, arms up. And exhale, release. We're going to do one more. Inhale, arms all the way up. Stretch up, belly in. Bring your palms together, hands to heart center.